You are listening to episode 23 of the Underhook Show. My name is Steve, as always, alongside my co-host Chris. And Chris, it is the Jordan episode. How are you doing on this Wednesday evening?
I'm doing great, my brother. I'm doing good. Feeling real goatish, like Jordan. No. But no, it's good. It's a good Wednesday night. It's finally cooling down. Not sweating. I can breathe.
Yeah, first episode in a while where we're not leading off talking about psycho weather. We missed it by a couple days, so hopefully that means it only took 9 months of the year to get some consistency, which is wild.
It did pour down rain, crazy style though, but for the past couple of days. But we're good now.
I was at the Offspring Jimmy Eat World show, and that damn near didn't happen from the weather.
My coworker was there, said he's a big Offspring fan, and he said that Newfound Glory didn't even play, so that's kind of sad.
Their set got cut. It was a shit show getting back in, and they told Jimmy Eat World just to go as soon as they got the green light. So I heard half their set from the parking lot. But that's neither here nor there. We're talking wrestling, and boy, do we got a lot to talk about this week. It's a jam-packed episode with all the happenings around the globe, primarily with what should be more of an international show with AEW. Granted, this is Forbidden Door week. We have the Go Home Dynamite to review, as well as previewing the big show, which will air Sunday afternoon for us because of the 6-hour time change.
I can't wait. I love afternoon shows.
Yeah, it should be cool. And then we're finally starting the first phase of our DPW catch-up, so we got a whole lot to discuss. I think we should lead off with kind of everything else. So, in the past week, Chris, what have you been watching?
I checked out From the Gathering of the Juggalos, GCW versus JCW, the 2-day war. And it was, they could have condensed it into one day. I would have been fine.
And this is current.
This is current. This happened last week, actually. And they had a big schmoz like battle royal. A bunch of people came out. That the Superhuman came out. This is for the Juggalos and Juggalettes. But it was a fun show. I mean, it's GCW and JCW, so it is take it with a grain of salt. It was entertaining. It was something to cleanse the palate of just different wrestling for me.
Different, probably a way to put it.
Yeah.
So let's stay on the whole Juggalo thing for a sec, because this is, I can't believe what I heard today. Shout out Violent People. Again, not directly associated, but I do contribute for the big Violent People 100 Wrestler of the Year list that they do every year. They have a great podcast network, and they brought back the Desert Island comp, where they bring on a guest and they give 10 matches they want to bring to Desert Island. And today was one of the more interesting contributors over there. They had a match that I think that we might need to do a watch along of when we hit a milestone, because it's generally one of the most insane lineups I've ever seen. It is the Insane Clown Posse and Terry Funk taking on the team of Jerry the King Lawler, Kid Cash, and Primetime Monty Brown.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. Primetime Monty Brown, huh? Yeah, I'm with it. Yep. I'm down for that.
I think it's also on a damn near, I don't know if illegible is the word, an undiscernible fan cam, just a really shitty fan cam from the crowd to make it even better. So the fact that I heard that match exists, I'm like, holy fuck. We gotta cover it on here in some way, shape, or form eventually. So shout out to the Desert Island comp. Not to cut you off and go on a tangent, but I had to make you aware that is a match that happened.
Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna see that. But no, it was interesting that should be the word. Interesting, because I don't watch. I do watch GCW, but I don't watch JCW. And I know they've actually got they do a weekly show, I guess, on YouTube. They have this one tag team. Oh, I don't know what they called. That's gonna bother me. I'm gonna have to look it up. But they looked insane. The makeup they were wearing just looked crazy to me. Oh man, or they call it the Hive or something like that, or something. I don't know. But yeah, if you've never seen, I'm gonna look it up. But what have you watched this week?
Unfortunately, this weekend I had very little time to watch wrestling because I wanted to watch Collision and just didn't get to it. I primarily focused on DPW, that we will talk about later, and I needed to catch up with the end of the G1, follow the results. I think now we could do our little G1 corner here, which more people are mad about the booking than I am. I understand the issue, but I'm also not like acting like the sky is falling, if you know what I mean. Because New Japan kind of has this identity crisis right now where they're just not pushing the young guys. And now it's starting to get a little bit concerning because if you look at the bracket, you know, Shota Umino loses Wrestle Kingdom main event, loses in the quarterfinals. He loses to Yota Tsuji, who loses in the semifinal. Yuya loses the play-in to even get into the playoffs, and Oiwa is still relatively new amongst this crop of talent because he did the excursion, like year-and-a-half excursion in Pro Wrestling Noah. So we all kind of figured Takeshita was going to win this thing, and he did, but it was not received well because even though he's on a cross-promotional contract, he's still not seen and received as a New Japan guy, right? So he's facing Evil, who has kind of ran the table through his shit finishes and interferences of House of Torture, and he's supposed to be the biggest heel in the promotion. But the New Japan crowd were completely behind him in the final, like or has been reported. I do want to watch the final. I think, from what I could tell, it was a decent match. I just think people were just not thrilled with who was in it. But I'm still going to give it a chance. I'll tell you what, though, man. David Finlay Takeshita in the quarterfinals fucking ruled.
Yeah, I gotta go back and watch that. I only seen clips of Saber and Takeshita.
Yeah, I was telling you before we hit record, that was like the last thing I was going to watch before Dynamite went on the air and I got sidetracked. So I'll probably watch that tomorrow along with the final. Zach had a really good tournament, and I think their first match was good enough to where I want to see where they add on to it. I obviously saw the brainbuster bump that everyone was sharing, and it got in the selling discourse, and I'm just like, dude, I feel like when they're selling discourse on Twitter, nobody knows what they're talking about. He kind of rolled through it, but he still is like, yo, he landed on his head. How do you expect somebody?
How do you sell getting dropped on your head? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of hard to do that.
Yeah, selling discourse. I mean, you don't have to do a crumble sell every time. I don't know. It's like we're not professionals either, but it's always people who aren't watching the promotion that have the most to say too. So, but that's another can of worms. But I'm gonna watch those matches. David Finlay's last couple matches were awesome. The Yuya match, that was basically a play-in, like whoever won faced Zach. Really good stuff. And then, like I said earlier, Finlay Takeshita I thought was awesome. Like, they were just going nuts, and it was not sloppy, but the offense was loose enough to where it, like, benefited the match. Like, rough around the edges.
Who are the two guys that joined, or who are War Dogs now?
Yuto Nakashima and Oscar Loiba, they were on excursion in Germany.
Okay. Yeah.
And they both
awesome,
came back.
And I'm sold. I don't know who they are, but their look had me sold. Okay? So.
Yeah, I've seen more of Oscar than I have of Yuto, and now they both kind of came back repackaged. This Yuto Ice gimmick looks hilarious.
Yeah, I'm down. It's like Roppongi Vice again.
Yeah, so I'm curious to see where they go with that. A little disappointed with what we saw tonight. No David Finlay on Forbidden Door, because I think he could have slotted into a high-profile match nicely, but I'll save my Forbidden Door criticisms until we talk about that. But other than that, yeah, not too much modern stuff. I've been struggling with early 1994 ECW because I got 105 minutes of Shane Douglas title matches, which is about 85 minutes too long. But in the context of the year, I think I'm golden going forward. I looked ahead at cards, and I don't think they're going to do anything that long for a long time. So, going to keep pushing with the personal projects and anything we're going to talk about on here. But other than that, that's all from me. I know you did watch Triple Mania.
I did. I watched it. It was honestly decent for not knowing anything about a AAA show, because I'm not that knowledgeable on Lucha Libre, so tuning in was pretty sweet. I had to go back, because by the time I got home from work, I missed a little bit, but I went back and watched it again. A couple of spots, my boy, what's his name? The Iguana. Is it Mr. Iguana?
Mr. Iguana, yeah.
All right, look, I'm learning. Mr. Iguana, my dog, and then Finn Balor had a mini little demon. I just love little spots like that. It's pretty awesome. The Battle Royal where they had Wish Taurus. It was crazy.
Yeah, the Omos stuff looked great.
Yeah, I need more of that. Give me more of that. I want the best part about that was the little leg swat that Omos did, because he didn't know who was hitting his ankle. That part had me dying laughing.
I feel like he gets it more than people realize.
He does. His DDT. I watched clips of him in DDT, and it was awesome. I feel like
the Noah excursion,
or the Noah. Yeah, I'm sorry, not Noah. Yeah. But he gets it. You know what I'm saying? It was great.
Why aren't they booking him? You know?
Yeah, seeing him was awesome there, and I was like, okay, maybe we'll see him on TV. No.
No, hopefully.
But it looks like we're gonna get Vikingo versus Dom singles, but they're probably gonna make that switch finally, because they're trying to make I guarantee they're trying to make the crowd happy at this point.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, they're doing another Worlds Collide in America. And
but did they just do one not too long ago?
June, before it was the day of Money in the Bank, actually.
Oh, that's right. That's when they announced that AAA deal, the week before, I think, or something like that. Or
it's just our concept of time, because it was Mania. They announced the purchase, and then June they did the show, the first joint show.
I know it was relatively quick though, a couple of months, right?
Yeah. From what I can tell, the show did well. I think a lot of Lucha Libre fans are not receptive to how WWE are already making changes. Obviously, I don't know if we could speak to that, because it's not like we were watching a ton of AAA prior to this. But
shout out to Jewish Messias also, by the way.
Yeah. What's cool though, again, we're not ticket sale discourse guys or anything like that. We care about the matches and the programming and stuff. But as far as just I guess those shows did really well, but CMLL is arguably the hottest it's ever been. On the other side of the fence, because they're doing 18,000 a week in Arena Mexico.
So what I like about it is no matter what, wrestling's booming. You know, no matter what you like, you know what I'm saying? It's something's there.
I just think this isn't really, again, I'm not speaking towards CMLL or AAA, but I think some of the booking needs some work in different parts of the world. But it is nice that there's interest and people are going to shows and whatnot. But speaking of booking, we can get into, if that's all you got, we can get into this week's edition of AEW Dynamite.
Yeah, I think that's all I got. Yeah, I didn't see anything else until DPW. I mainly focused on that.
yeah, same. Well, I guess there is one thing about WWE we can point out, because it was a pretty significant announcement today.
Oh, yeah, man. I know tickets are going to be $700 sitting in nosebleeds, but I'm going to look.
Yeah, no, WrestlePalooza. Yeah, I'm not going. WrestlePalooza, which they pulled from, I believe, is is the ECW one of the Florida shows?
It's the ECW from
95, maybe?
Well, they did one in 97.
Okay.
Or 96, 97. It was right after Barely Legal. They did
Okay.
one, and it was like in Georgia. It was in Cobb County, Georgia.
I knew it was in the South. I just couldn't tell if it was.
Junkyard Dog was there. It was
Fuck
awesome.
yeah. That's awesome. Weird that they use that name. I saw Over the Limit being thrown around. I also think that they're just trying to scoop up all those old copyrights, like how they've been using for NXT.
And then they just decided to do it just randomly the same day as All Out.
Well, not only that, they're expediting this ESPN thing, and this event will be going head-to-head with an AEW pay-per-view streaming on ESPN. It's clear that they did it for this. Like, they want Lesnar and Cena as names for ESPN. And
Absolutely.
Because they want the big recognized names for their debut on there.
And would be surprised if you get The Rock.
Probably. I mean, I have little to no interest in this show because, like, with what they but the names floating around, or it's like Cena versus Lesnar I'm out on, Cody versus McIntyre will probably be fine, but then it was like Becky Lynch, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, if there's a Punk Rollins match happening in Indiana, I might just leave the state for a day. That is how sick of that I am, but at the same time I'm also just I'm out. So
yeah, I honestly tuned out of. They had me for a little bit, after like the Netflix thing, and it was cool. But now they're literally just reverting backwards again. And then you bring him back. I don't get it. And then that opens the door for bringing back another demon, and it's just why? Like, why?
Yeah, again, we talked about it at length a couple episodes ago, so we don't have to keep treading on that. It's all bad. I'll just say that.
And then you have Logan Paul being your filler. Makes it worse.
Yeah, you're burning one of Cena's last match on Logan Paul, so
don't get me wrong. Not a fan. But he's grown on me as a heel because he's very hateable. You know what I'm saying? So and he's, but people were literally trying to say that he is better than Will Ospreay. And I said, you can hate Will Ospreay, that's fine. But that's pushing it.
Yeah, that was like a manufactured thing.
Yeah.
Different strokes for different folks, I suppose. But
hey, you like it? Cool. I ain't hating.
It's just so strange to me that we can sit here and shit on their creative, and rightfully so, from a moral and inspirational point of view, just as far as their booking. And yet they're getting all this money to be put on ESPN. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. I mean, look, I have issues with AEW, but I think I would rather give them my money for their show that night, because I think that'll be a pretty significant night going forward,
Absolutely. Like, I'm always going to, even, I'm a wrestling fan, so I will tune in later, probably. I'll see the clips of WrestlePalooza. But I'm more of an AEW guy, so I'm going to tune into what I like more than... I would rather watch something I like than to watch something just to hate it.
Yeah, I think you're better off just looking at the card, and if there's something you want to parachute in for, it doesn't take much to watch wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, I'm waiting for that Tyrese Halliburton match. That's all I'm waiting for. Oh, he's hurt. Never mind. I won't get that. I won't get that. Never mind.
That being said, let's talk about AEW, though, because we got a pay-per-view week here. A taped Dynamite. The first taped Dynamite, I believe, since my birthday on February 12th, which was the MJF Dustin Rhodes Dynamite.
And boy, can you tell it was taped.
Yeah, this was a strange episode. AEW hasn't figured out the go-home show yet, which 6 years in, you think they would. I feel like they haven't, though.
There's two matches that should have flip-flop places, for sure.
Yeah, because I feel like we opened the show with the go-home segment.
Yeah. This match should have definitely been later, if not main event. it definitely should have been in another spot of the card. There's another match that I feel like should have been the main event also, but
Yeah, we can roll it back here. Just for context, this was taped because they were in Glasgow, Scotland at the O2. This is the August 20th edition of AEW Dynamite, which August 20th, a pretty significant day in AEW's history. If you could think back to 4 years ago, it was none other than CM Punk's return to wrestling.
yeah, it popped up my Facebook memories that I was playing in my band at the time, and I was really irritated because I could have went to that. Instead, I played in front of 5 people, which I took it for granted. I'm not, but still at the same time.
I mean, anybody in our world, I mean, we've all been there at one point, so it is what it is. I'm just going to make this parallel because I don't want to get too off track. But when I really think about it, like the years that I stole away was playing consistently, I wasn't watching wrestling. And then when COVID happened, I got back into it. We stopped playing shows.
It worked out for you. I was the opposite because during COVID we weren't, or I joined the band right after COVID, like when shows started happening again. So then I was like, damn. But I mean, I never would have thought CM Punk was going to come back. But hey, I got to see his first match back, so I guess it worked out.
Yeah. I mean, All Out versus that show, you know what I mean? Night and day.
Got All Out, Adam Cole, and Brian. Oh, man. Whew.
Yeah. Anyway. A bunch of good matches.
Speaking of Bryan Danielson.
Opens the show, and I don't know how to feel about this because
he was not good on commentary, by the way.
I really thought they had him there for some Zach and Nigel stuff.
I thought they had him there because Will Ospreay was going to say he couldn't do it.
Well, you thought Bryan was going to take his place?
Yeah, I don't,
I mean, I wouldn't have been surprised. I would have been surprised and unsurprised at the same time.
Because the way that it just was like all they were playing it out with the Ospreay stuff, and I was like, it's a little weird.
Yeah, I really thought they had him there. I mean, I'm sure he will be on commentary for the Nigel Zack Sabre Jr. match. But their segment, I don't know if it just wasn't taped for Dynamite or if they moved it to Collision or if it was strictly for Collision, but it wasn't on Dynamite. And I thought just kind of rolling him out, especially before Blackpool Combat Club or Death Riders came out, excuse me, I still get it mixed up. It just felt a bit off. I feel like I should be seeing Bryan Danielson on Dynamite when he's carrying around Wheeler Yuta's head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's still some unfinished business there, some things to unpack.
And then they kept bringing up I told him I'll stay here. I'm gonna stay, and I'm like, he's gonna get involved in that cage somehow. I just have a hunch. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he swings it.
They're not bringing, because it's like a red herring. They're not bringing him out just to do commentary because they could have literally had anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, they like to do that, or maybe they just like to do it to get you to think because they got me thinking.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll go somewhere, even if it's just a run-in. I just thought he was there for Zach and Nigel, which, again, could be the case, but it wasn't the case on Dynamite. But just good to see Bryan Danielson again. Hope he's doing well. And maybe one day we'll see him wrestle again. But for now, that set the stage for this. What was advertised as a Moxley-Ospreay face-to-face. But Ospreay came out, and it was kind of a weird promo because he was harboring the fact that he's going to have neck surgery after this match while still trying to tie it into kayfabe, which I can appreciate that from a certain degree, but I'm also thinking maybe don't do a lights out steel cage match.
He's gonna do a fucking Spanish fly off this thing like he did with Fletch. But if you watched him, like, he didn't take a lot of. He wasn't involved in a lot, I don't think. Like in the brawl and stuff.
Yeah, I would believe what he said when he's like saving it and he's going to give his all in the cage. But
yeah, because right as the other Death Riders came out and started to attack, he slipped out the ring. He was gone.
Yeah, because he was there for some other spots later down the line. Not much of a promo with Moxley, but what I appreciate here is that we know Ospreay is going to be out for a long time, but I think you have a natural program when he does come back. And not only a program, but that's Moxley Ospreay in AEW. That's a pretty significant match, I think, to run.
Yeah, because the ace of AEW, John Moxley.
And kind of the ace in waiting,
That's what I said. I'm like, the uncrowned prince, of AEW. But I'm down to see that. At this point, you can put Mox against anybody. I'm tuning in.
Yeah, he's just been on this incredible run. Let's stick with the Ospreay injury, though. I was talking to my brother about it, and I'm not saying that Ospreay needs to return as a completely different wrestler, but I don't think modifying his style would be the worst thing in the world. And this isn't, slow down, buddy, like type thing. I think it's because he keeps himself in ridiculous shape that I truly believe that if he does just tone a couple of things down and maybe just pace his matches out a little differently, he could still have a very long career. I mean, look what Danielson did with the same.
Yeah, like don't go 1,000% every match.
And this isn't his first. I mean, I'm sure the surgery is the turning point, but remember, he has dealt with neck injuries in the past when he had stopped doing inverted 450s and shit. So I think he'll be okay. I hope he'll be okay. But I think if he comes back, maybe not necessarily as a different wrestler, but just spacing things out a little bit more will do him good. And I think he'll just do his matches a little bit better as well. But I'll just say that I hope everything goes smoothly on his end over the weekend and that he, takes all the steps necessary to make sure he's good to go down the line.
Yeah. I feel like when he comes back, you're going to see him work a different pace for sure.
Yeah, because he'll still be Ospreay, but I'm saying like in his match layouts, maybe just tweak things here and there.
It sucks for me. Like one of my, he's probably
your favorite wrestler.
That's what I said, man. So I'm like, damn, like.
Mm-hmm.
But when he comes back, that belt's his. I don't care.
Yeah, never know the timetable with those things, but if he can get back for the Owen, that kind of writes itself. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Sausage Roll.
Yeah, I got a Greg's and a Sausage Roll football song, which is awesome. But this turned into just a giant schmoz that folded into the opening match, which was...
sorry, not to cut you off. Before this match, this opening segment took so damn long.
It really did. They did take their time with all this. I think they just wanted to give Ospreay this moment. But because they took so long, they had to have the Ace of the Universe run, which he can't really do that anymore. But Jet Speed runs out, and Death Riders are all involved, and Tanahashi's music hits, and they make that man do a run-in.
Man, I was nervous. I was like, oh, God, don't run.
After he's been through a month-long tournament. But I thought he held his own, and he got all his shit in, so, in the match.
High five low.
Yeah.
He's doing it off that cage.
I think Tana needs to run the blade just before he's done.
I'm telling you, bro. Like, please jump off that cage. Just do it.
Like I said, I remember Wrestle Kingdom, I believe it was 2022. They had the no holds barred match with Kenta, where he did the high fly flow off of like a painter's ladder, like it wasn't a gimmick ladder.
Oh no, that sounds horrible.
Yeah, he was fine. Kenta got the worst of it. Kenta like dislocated his hip and tore something else, and he hasn't been the same since. Tana's involvement, we could talk about it when we preview the match, but it's interesting. This match was fine. I think because the promos were so long, it did get bogged down by some of the picture-in-picture stuff. Like it looked like there was some good stuff in transition that maybe we missed on the live broadcast. So that might be one to go back and watch once the full cut is on Max.
Yeah.
But Babyface's win, Tanahashi getting the win. I mean, I think that's the right thing to do, because this is like it's like a side quest on his farewell tour, going all these places, which I wouldn't be surprised if he was on All Out to give him one last appearance in Canada too. So he might have been on some of those War of the Worlds shows like 10 years ago.
Yeah, I think I have a couple of them on DVD where he is on them.
Yeah, so let everybody see Tanahashi one last time. And, like I said, play the hits. Got the somersault senton, bit of twist and shout, high fly flow. He hit one sling blade. So still got it. Right?
That's all he's doing. He's like, I can't do that again, guys.
Yeah. I think he used up most of his sling blades in the G1, but he had some really good shit in the G1, so good on him.
I'm a little sad my boy couldn't do the G1, but at least he's going to be in the cage match. Gabe.
Yeah, that's a hot button topic. So yeah, after the match, Bullet Club War Dogs come out. No David Finlay, but just about everybody else. And
Clark fucking Connors.
Cowboy hat and all. And it was just one run in after the other. This was a mess. I knew Darby would be in the body bag that Will Ospreay brought out. That was a nice little red herring. Or wasn't even red herring. You knew it was going to be Darby. Where it kind of gets weird is that the Ops ran out. And they're not in this match. Neither the War Dogs, so maybe that'll be a 0-hour match.
Right. Oh, Young Bucks are in the match. Never mind.
Bucks are in the cage.
Yeah, I always forget.
There's just so much going on
That's
here.
what I said. There's so many people. I was like, who's in the match? Who isn't? But, Paragon came out.
That would set up a match on Collision that I'm actually very excited for.
I'm very excited for that graphic that they had in the corner.
That was awesome. And then Darby hit a dive off something high. I mean,
and no one caught him. Well, at least it looked like no one caught him.
Wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, this was just kind of what you expect, just maybe too many people.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was a lot, man. My ADHD was going nuts.
Let's talk about the Gabe Kidd thing, though, because this has been a hot button topic once he was announced for this cage match. And that's he dropped the G1, but he's still participating in this match. Big reason this is another point of controversy is that he is the IWGP Global Champion. And in these tournaments in Japan, a lot of the booking for the months heading into the fall goes on the basis of whoever pins the champion during the tournament gets the next title shot. Gabe Kidd drops out of the tournament, you don't set up those matches, and then he just waltzes into AEW. Not a great look.
That's why that was the first thing that came to my mind. I said, ew, because I didn't click when they first announced him. It clicked today when I seen him, walking around, and he looked fine. But yeah, I don't know. I hope they figured it. I hope that this is all, they got it figured out. I don't want no heat on my boy.
They have a match set up. Shingo called him out, and he called it for what it was. So how could you be a champion and just not show up to work? And that's the match in September. What happens in that match in Gabe Kidd's future in New Japan, I honestly have no idea. I think this whole thing did not go over well at all.
Yeah, I think they're going to take that belt off of Gabe Kidd.
Mm-hmm. So one to look forward to.
Shingo's the right guy to do it, honestly. So
yeah, Shingo needs something to do, man, because he's been kind of in purgatory over there for a couple of years. So maybe a white belt run will do him well, but we'll see. But that was our opening segment, which took up a big chunk of the first hour. Yeah,
they had a lot of long segments here. This episode.
Yeah, segment heavy show. As far as the cage goes, I saw something suggested today, and I actually think this might be the right thing to do as far as how they go about this match, because Lights Out Steel Cage match, our only example of that was Hangman Swerve. And it was just the regular old AEW Steel Cage. Adding 8 more people to that Obviously, there's not going to be a lot of room. So I saw today someone asked, again, I can't remember the account, so pardon me for not giving any credit. But what if they use the War Games cage?
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Like
just with the one ring, though.
Yeah, last week. They need to, like, maybe put it around the ring.
So you essentially have a giant Hell in a Cell.
Essentially do what New Japan did, but better.
Yeah, you have a big old Hell in a Cell style cage with the ring intact, but a ton of room outside.
I think WCW used to run cage matches like that too.
Yeah.
Like in the later dying years, but they needed that's the only way you could do it. There's no way you're gonna put all them guys into a cage. No, there's no way.
There's just not enough room, especially like.
And you already know what's gonna happen. They're gonna get out of the cage. It's gonna be a big schmoz. Everyone gonna be fighting everywhere anyway. But still, like,
right. So I don't know much about ring size, but I don't know if they flew in their own ring or if they're using one of Rev Pro's. And if they are using Rev Pro's, you're going to have a smaller ring. So, like, you need space for this to work. So we'll talk a bit about it more once we run down the card of Sunday's show. But I do think that will be the better option, just because we need to know what the fuck's going on, right?
Something.
Yeah. Sending us to break, got a Hangman and MJF package that they would end up closing out the show, and we'll talk about that when we get to it.
Pissed me right off.
Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah. Just stick a pin in it for now, my friend. We'll air our grievances because I think we're on the same page.
I'm glad we're on the same page.
Yeah. The Edge and Christian segment following the commercial break, I don't know. Like, I feel like they're just not treating this like it is a big deal, but it's not.
I think they're trying to make it a big deal, and the crowd's just not getting behind it.
Maybe so.
I think that's the issue. Like, they're getting behind Christian.
Yeah.
No, you know what? They're behind Cope too. They like Edge. They do. Cope, Edge, whatever. Cope, Edge.
It just feels so nonchalant.
It feels forced. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're like, oh, well, here's the nostalgia factor that you all been hoping for. Boom. You know what I'm saying? We knew it was coming, but it's very like, oh, okay, whatever. We're together now. It's like a buddy cop movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, weird. The dynamic isn't there right now.
And it really should hold more weight, regardless of your opinion on, like, Edge's run, for example.
And now I feel like, well, I guess not, but with what happens later, I feel like there might be pivoting, but then again, maybe not.
Yeah, well, let's talk about it, because Nick Wayne's out of the match, and that's pretty significant because he's just getting his own group off of the ground. Something about those ROH titles, man. They're taking people out left and right. But his replacement, Luchasaurus, is back, and I'm happy to see him back because I think he when he went out, it was something gnarly, like heart issues or something.
Yeah, it was something crazy, and I'm stoked to see him. I'm a Luchasaurus guy. I don't care what anybody says, but him coming out made sense. Chilling with Kip and Mother Wayne, but it opens the door for Jungle Boy to come back.
Yeah, and if we go Tony Khan brain on this one, London's a pretty significant city for Jack Perry.
Yeah, I don't know
given
how
that he kind of got, the whole CM Punk thing.
Yeah. It's, I saw something where, like, he's been out longer now than after all that incident. Like, they brought him back quicker after that, after Brawl Out, than now, and he's literally done nothing at this. You know what I'm saying? Like, to our knowledge, just armchair
Chilling.
quarterback and watching TV, or since that, like he joined the elite, he did all that. To our knowledge, he hasn't done anything, and now he just kept him off TV. Like,
I wonder if he was going to stick around in New Japan for a while, but that Yota Tsuji match died on its ass in the Tokyo Dome.
Yeah, I was just...
So I don't know if they were like, we're good. Maybe it's the place to bring him back, but I still feel like this is just reestablishing Edge and Christian. But I think with Luchasaurus, instead of Nick Wayne, you kind of get a more cut and dry match structure to where they have to overcome this monster, and then you have Kip Sabian there to eat the pin anyways.
Yeah.
So, again, I'll reiterate that when we run down the card, but I'm like, that works for me. I just hope Luchasaurus is just healthy and good to go, and whatever.
He looked in good shape.
Whatever crazy health incident he had in the past is well behind him, because, you don't want anything bad to happen like that.
Not to anybody.
Right, yeah. Of course not. Now the match is Luchasaurus and Kip Sabian against Edge and Christian on Sunday. But coming out of the break, Ricochet, Gates of Agony backstage. Surprised Ricochet is not on this show.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, he's not on the show, and he main evented Wrestle Dynasty, which is kind of the inverse of this show. Like, him and Zack main evented the Tokyo Dome. Maybe he'll be involved in the main event because he formed this alliance with MJF, and it just kind of seemed rushed.
Very rushed.
Maybe that has to do with all the ambiguous stuff with the Hurt Syndicate, so how all those plans have changed. So maybe that's how they got to this point. This would obviously come back saying, enemy of my enemy is my friend. Basically, Ricochet, MJF, and Cahoots going forward. Top of the hour, the tag team number one contenders tournament, Bandito and Brody King taking on FTR. 30-minute time limit draw.
Started off slow, but goddamn, did it pick up.
It did. I liked a lot of this match, but there's just one thing in the decision that I can't get past.
Wait, before we start, that's what I want to talk about. Gotta reverse a little bit. The Luchasaurus stuff.
Yeah.
The video package. What popped me. He had a tiny oxygen mask on his mask.
On it, yeah, I did see that.
I wrote that down. That was the only note I took tonight was tiny mask on mask. And that
was a funny visual, yeah.
That popped me. But all right. He just said
yeah, he was just in trunks, but he still had his dinosaur get up on his face.
Oh, that's great. And I was tiny mask on mask. That popped me.
Yeah.
All right, back to the Brodito.
Why would a tournament ever end in a draw?
That was my question.
That was so strange to me.
This felt pivoted.
Yeah, because FTR's the match. Now I'm starting to think that the titles are changing hands, but Lashley and Shawn just aren't getting pinned.
Yeah, it's going to be Bandito.
Bandito or Brody King are taking that pin, and it's Bandito's defending the Ring of Honor Championship the next week. Brody King loses too much as it is. This is messy.
Yeah.
Sick match, though. Cash Wheeler, dude. He's so awesome. The kind of takeaways from this match. First of all, he ate shit with that table spot.
Yes, he did. He also ate shit on the cannonball, the double, where they were both sitting in the corner, and Brody King ran in, and Dax took 0 of that.
That's hilarious.
Cash took all of that directly.
Cash fucking rules. What stood out to me, though, because this is directly contrasting Young Bucks match from the week before, and I'm not trying to do the FTR Young Bucks thing here. I'm kind of over that argument, because I think both are really good, especially this year. The way FTR just selling everything Brody did was night and day compared to what the Bucks did. The Bucks, everything was 50-50, and I understand that's just how they work. But I like seeing those contrasts and how these teams that you can consider all-time, or at least in AW's run, maybe the top 2 teams is how they're being presented. This is a really good exercise in how they approach these matches. And I thought the way FTR kind of bumped and stooged for Brody stuff was awesome. Brody got good color here, too.
Brody got that good color. Solid match. Great spots. The spike pile driver on the apron. Ugh. Jesus.
I should have seen that they were going 30, though, with how they were pacing it. Because, like you said, the first half, they were really taking their time.
And my buddy Josh was here, and he said, "What's going on?" Like he kind of like or not dozed, he kind of just like drifted off for a second. He's like, "I gotta go back and watch that match." I was like, "Well, if you do, start in the middle." Like I would say, like 10 minutes of the match was very slow paced, trying to figure it out, and then they just picked it up, got the pipe out, pause, and then just hit Brody King with it. But I mean, I loved it, man. This match was awesome.
Yeah, this is what I'm going to go back and check out when I'm just kind of going through the month. When that will be, I don't know, because I'm still in January for as far as just pro wrestling as a whole. But good stuff. Bandito, I think, has really raised his stock this year with this tag team. And hopefully it gives Brody King more avenues to do more stuff as well. Zooming out, though, the fact that I was able to compare an FTR match and a Young Bucks match the way I did, think about how different that is compared to last year, where FTR were not doing anything.
Yeah,
and the Bucks
were
were
the
kind
good
of,
guys.
And the Bucks were kind of getting really stale with the EVP stuff. So hey, credit to AEW and whether it was their ideas or the teams themselves' ideas to just push through that, because I think both have had a bit of a resurgence, and they did it just by being themselves. Like, just FTR going back to Southern heel tag wrestling, and the Bucks being insufferable pricks doing a bunch of cool shit to make you hate them more, while still being incredibly exciting. I don't know, I'm just like, hey, I enjoy FTR and the Young Bucks again, and I didn't for a long time. So yeah, I'm happy about that.
Yeah, anytime FTR just has to be heels. Like, they can't do that good guy shit. They're better off as heels.
They had a really good run in like 2022.
Yeah, I think maybe I just prefer them as heels because they remind me of that old like Southern heel team, and I like that, that old style. And now you give them Big Stoke, and I'm sold all the time. So put the titles on them, give them everything.
I think them as heels, they could just naturally elevate. Like, look what they got out of the Outrunners this year. They're giving the comebacks to like Bandito, for example, who's like, he's just like, no pun intended, he's just like lighting a stick of dynamite off. So yeah, it works. It really works. I'm happy with this kind of resurgence of the tag division because it felt dead for a long time. Hurt Syndicate was looking crazy. Lashley no shirt with the hat.
Wild. It's like, all right, man, we get it. I was like, ain't no one gonna say anything to you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Swerve Okada video package. This build did absolutely nothing for me. I'll be completely honest.
Yeah, I'm not excited for this match, to be fair. Because like we've already seen the first one was it was good, but it was nothing to write home about, and yeah. I just feel like, nah, I'm okay.
I think we have more interesting points to talk about where they go with both guys, but we can talk about that when we run through the card. But again, they pretty much have reiterated the same points for a month now, so I'm just ready for the match.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be a same good, decent match, but
yeah,
we'll talk about where we think they're gonna go afterwards.
This is gonna kind of be a crossroads for both guys, but let's save that for a minute. Now let's get into this Hangman MJF angle, because
pissing me right off.
I was talking to some friends, and when the big reveal happened, I was just kind of simmering with it. I'm like, I think I hate this. I think I really dislike where they went with this, because
I instantly said I hate this. This is dumb.
MJF and Gates of Agony take Mark Briscoe hostage and give Hangman Page a list of demands for the match. And it just made me think back to how poorly received the Death Riders taking people hostage was at the beginning of the year was. That was this year, by the way. Are we just retreading this shit? Like, not retreading Death Riders, but I'm like, are we taking the worst parts of TV and giving it to MJF, who I've been on thin ice with for years now? This just totally didn't land with me whatsoever. Now we gotta talk about the match, how that's been stepped up.
Because you just literally told us who's going to win that, which we already figured, but now you pretty much told us who's going to win.
I think the stipulation that the champion can lose by disqualification never works. I mean, I'm sure if you go back far enough, you could find one that works, but in recent history, it almost always bogs the match down.
It happened. I want to say it happened in WWE once.
They did it with Punk Jericho like the week of the match.
Yeah.
And they did it with Triple H Orton at 25, and that match stunk.
Was that the one where Orton slapped the ref? There was one where Orton slapped the ref to win the match, or some shit like that. Or something stupid happened.
He did the Christian feud where he kicked the ref in the balls and won the title.
That one, yeah. That's the one I'm thinking of.
Or something along those lines.
Something stupid. Yeah, I remember, yeah.
No, they did when like Randy Orton was breaking in, or was like kissing Stephanie McMahon handcuffed and stuff, they added the stipulation if Triple H gets disqualified, he loses the belt.
Wild statement too, by the way.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, that was like cue ball psycho Orton that people hype up now, like 15 years after the fact. But you know, what turned into a blood feud, they're like, hey, if you guys break the rules, title change. But yeah, I don't know. I don't like matches like that. And I really just thought he was going to weasel his way out of using the contract. That's something I can see MJF doing. But this feels like a hat on top of a hat on top of a hat, and I don't like it. I know this isn't going to be the end of this feud or the MJF Briscoe feud because this isn't going to be the main event. The Lights Out match will be the main event. But this kind of just killed my interest in the match because who's to say that it's just ref bump, Mark Briscoe cleans house, Hangman wins anyways.
Whatever. I'm going to withhold judgment because they could probably still put on a good match, but it took me out of it and it just irritated me. Like, I think it more so just irritated me that they went a very convoluted way of him getting his contract back. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah.
And then the fact that they were just like, oh, well, you pretty much just told us who's going to win that match, which we already kind of figured anyway. But
yeah, there's no reason why MJF would win the match while still holding that contract. That contradicts itself. So yeah, I mean, they're going to get their mileage out of this feud. I almost would have just done the triple threat here instead. You can have a middle of the road match in this program, I think, if you did the triple threat. But we're not getting it, so this is what we're working with. But this just felt like some of the worst parts of MJF came back like right before my eyes, and I was just not happy with it whatsoever. But I'll take your advice, and I'm going to withhold my judgment for the actual wrestling match. But yeah, I didn't like this angle.
Yeah, I did not care for this at all.
Yeah. Main event time. I said last week that Alex Windsor and Toni Storm versus Athena and Mercedes Moné looked good on paper, and I wouldn't be surprised if they all paced themselves for their big title matches over the weekend. That wasn't the case. These four were going nuts, and
this match ruled.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. Just Athena needs to be on TV every week. She ain't losing that belt anytime soon, especially because she has a filler defense next week. She's defending against Mina, which I'm glad Mina's back. Don't get me wrong. Mina's an interim Ring of Honor women's television champion. She's not winning the world title with no build. And again, I think just Ring of Honor in general needs a lot of housekeeping work, but never going to complain about an Athena match. I thought she was the star of this match. Dive to the table looked really scary, but she seems to be okay.
The sick pile driver on the steps.
Yeah, one spot I really liked from hers was it looked like Toni fucked up a DDT on the outside.
Oh yeah,
so instead of redoing the spot, she caught the leg and did that like kind of one-arm powerbomb. Those are the type of things, those instinctual, in the moment adjustments.
It was a good fluid Toni Storm with the DDT. I don't know what happened, but I'm glad they turned it in something into nothing, you know.
Yeah,
but I am a Windsor fan. I am sold.
I think I am too. I think she's impressed me a lot, and because I was not watching her in Rev Pro or in Eve. So I can't say I have a ton of experience.
I think I've seen her once, maybe, when I was tuning in, but I checked out Man Like DeReese. That's the only thing I cared for. But
Man Like DeReese was brought in by my favorite soccer club today.
Oh, yes.
He was doing some media stuff for Chelsea, which I was shocked because he's not from that part of the country. But
I was hoping he was going to be the one to answer Max Caster also. You know what I'm saying? I had a list. I had a long list.
That would have really worked because of his
That's what I said.
gimmick.
They kind of mirror each other in a sense.
Yeah, like UK rap versus... Yeah, that would have been fun. But I don't know what bubble he's in because I don't know if he was doing ID stuff at all, but I know he was working TNA recently. So maybe he might be more towards WWE in that regard. But
hey, get your money, bro. Get your money.
Yeah, 100%. But fun match. The finish was kind of weird, but I don't necessarily love the ref, or not the ref, but don't necessarily love them not keeping track of the legal competitor when the ref isn't dictating who should be in the ring or not, because AEW just doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Still a fine setup for the O-Face, though. Like, it worked for me, but some parts didn't. But
Aubrey out here acting like Nick Patrick, not trying to count the three, or, you know.
Yeah. Fun main event, nonetheless. Nobody in the room knew who the Stardom representative would be, and I figured they would edit that in, which they got Bozilla for this 4-way, and I was not expecting that.
So I am a Bozilla fan.
I was gonna say, because you saw her match at Megan Bayne over Mania weekend, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, I saw that one, and then I want to say I've seen her. There was a clip where she showed up, I think, at Stardom or New Japan or something. I don't know, and she was
it would have been Stardom, yeah.
Yeah, she came out in a hoodie, beat everyone up. I was like, yeah, that's the girl.
She hasn't been wrestling for very long, but she's a beast. She's going to tower over everybody in this match. I haven't seen a ton of her stuff this year, but last year she had some really good stuff in Marigold, which guy who started Stardom started that promotion. They had a bit of an exodus.
That was where Julia came from, right?
Yeah, and the first main event that they ran was, I believe it was Julia and Utami against Sari and Bozilla, which was a fun match. And Bozilla had some really good stuff with Sari. I don't know if you ever saw the stuff of Sari bleeding a bunch while she had her in an armbar.
I might have. I'm gonna check it out because I need to
really
go back.
Sick match, dude. Awesome match, yeah.
Because but I'm you know me, I like those ass beaters. So
yeah. She had 2 good matches with Sari, and then a really good match with Nai Takahashi last year. I would recommend those if anybody wants some bit of a taste of what Bozilla brings. I haven't seen her Stardom stuff, and I thought it was crazy that she jumped ship like that. I wouldn't be surprised if this is not quite the same situation as Vaquer, because Vaquer is just leagues above damn near everybody, but I wouldn't be surprised that after this Forbidden Door show if one of the TV companies is trying to sign Bozilla. But that was AEW Dynamite. Didn't feel like a go-home show besides the opening big angle. So I think we said that probably should have closed out the show. But hey, women get the main event paycheck. Good for them.
Yeah, they're mad at the women getting their money.
And it was a fun match, so I can't complain too much. I'm going to pull up the Forbidden Door card, and I think we could run through that real quick. Before we hop into Forbidden Door preview, we alluded to the match graphic for Saturday. We didn't talk about it, though. The Young Bucks are taking on Roddy and Kyle O'Reilly, which sounds pretty awesome, actually. And it is the shittiest Photoshop selection I've seen from a pro wrestler.
I love everything what they're doing with this.
And they're not looking at the camera. One of them's got their eye like this is just the bit is so good.
I'm so glad they're leaning into this. I love it.
And they're finding new little ways to keep it fresh, and they're not beating you over the head with it. They're doing a really good job with this. So.
I'm wondering what else they're going to do at the pay-per-view. I'm trying to think, what else can you do? You already did the Max Buck, Jeremy Buck,
Lights out, so it's not AEW's fault, you know?
Yeah, so. Mm-hmm. I looked down. I which, first side note, that match is gonna fuck. But, and I just looked at the match graphic and I said, I looked at my buddy Josh, I was like, look at that. Like, they photoshopped this shit. Oh, it was great. Yeah, and then the shirt they were selling, I don't know if you saw that too.
Yeah, it's like, it looks like, not the Comic Sans quite, but it's a similar vibe.
I guarantee you, one of their kids made that shirt.
Sure looks like it.
And they're selling it for like $20. It's great.
Collision card looks cool though, because there's the Max Caster stuff that was advertised.
We're not gonna spoil it,
but it's sick and it makes sense. A couple of surprise appearances. One that, I mean, they're signed, but like Grizzled Young Veterans are on Collision. I feel like they just not have been on AEW TV all year.
Well, when we talk about our DPW, we might be seeing them a little bit more.
Yes, and they're also on the Rev Pro shows this weekend, which the cards for the 2-night anniversary spectacular, and night 1 is with more of the guests compared to night 2, but I'm interested in seeing, they're doing that crazy tag match. I don't know if you saw like the 10-man tag. So it's Cowboy Way, Manders and Thomas Shire teaming with Hechicero, Kyle Fletcher, and Robbie X against the Blunt Rotation team of Mike Bailey, Zozaya, Michael Oku, and none other than Hiroshi Tanahashi and Katsuyori Shibata.
Alright, sign me up for this.
Tanahashi and Shibata teaming up again, like probably for the first time in, oh god, maybe 10 years. Maybe since the Shinsuke retirement match? I think they probably did some build-up tags after that, before Shibata got injured, but it's been a long time since they've teamed up. It might be the last time they team up if they don't let Shibata come back, so we'll keep an eye on that one. Otherwise, some cool stuff on there. Blue Panther versus Chris Ridgway. Ridgway's a real mat-based guy. I've seen a Noah here and there, and obviously Blue Panther is Blue Panther. Then Mercedes Moné is once again challenging for another belt. So,
what belt is she challenging for? Like for their?
She has their title, but it says for the DW Women's title, Discovery Wrestling. It's a title for title match, which I'm assuming Emerson Jane is not beating Mercedes Moné. So she'll have another belt. I can only assume unless they do a draw. Then Yuya Uemura is on the card too. I don't know much about Connor Mills, but Yuya's wrestling, so might check out some of night 1. Night 2, it's very much in-house, and Mercedes is on the show though. Oh, and Yuya too. So
I want to see that Michael Oku versus Leon Slater match on night 2.
There you go.
Just saying. I just looked it up now. I was like, let me see.
Yeah. So that's part of the weekend.
Their name, Alex Winsdor is in a team called the Cutthroat Collective. I like that. Sign me up.
I've heard about them. I've never seen any of their work. Like I said, I'm not tapped into 2020's Brit Rests in the slightest.
I'll check that out.
But the big show of the weekend that we just went through the go-home show for, that being AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling will kind of present Forbidden Door. Nothing announced for 0 Hour yet. With that, as we always say with AEW shows, those could be announced on Saturday. Those could be announced Sunday morning. Those could be announced an hour before they go on the air. So we're working with what
they could be announced on 0 Hour, like as they're there, you know.
Yeah. So we're working with what we got, and I got Cage Match pulled up. If you do, so we can go through.
Yes, sir. I got it loaded up.
Their listed match order. First being what we talked about previously. Edge and Christian's reunion match taking on Killswitch in place of Nick Wayne and Kip Sabian. This just screams what I was talking about earlier. Overcome the big monster. You pin Kip Sabian. Edge and Christian open their account in AEW with a victory, which seems like all-out title match.
Yeah, they're in Canada.
Yeah, they're in their hometown.
Makes sense.
So, right. Following that, Kyle Fletcher making his second defense of the TNT title against Hiromu Takahashi. And when this match was confirmed, we talked about what Hiromu are we going to get? Because of the kind of bodybuilding Fletcher has done in his AEW run, this has turned into a big little match, which will be interesting. And I just want to see what we get out of Hiromu here. I think that'll dictate how a lot of the match goes. But I think with the heel work Fletcher's done and with how expressive Hiromu can be, I think you'll get some good bits in there.
I haven't watched New Japan in I got a full New Japan in quite a while, so I haven't really seen a Takahashi match in quite some time. So I'm interested to see what kind of vibe this puts out, you know. Fletcher's been on a run, so...
Yeah, he's having a great year. And, I mean, that's just... I mean, that he's defending, you know. I don't see any titles changing hands interpromotionally, I should say.
I don't see any title changing hands at all. Well, maybe. One.
I think there's 2 question marks here, but we're not there yet. So that means that the TBS title 4-way match, Mercedes Moné defending against Alex Windsor, Persephone from CMLL, and Bozilla representing Stardom. I think this will be a really fun match just because Bozilla is a total wild card. She's going to just be this overwhelming beast amongst 4 quick. I mean, Windsor's more of a powerhouse, you know, but Mercedes obviously having a bunch of lucha influence. Persephone just being a luchadora in general. And then you throw this monster into the mix. I think you can get some really cool interactions there. And plus, Mercedes is a bump freak in general. I think her bumping for Bozilla can actually be really great.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Her and Persephone are going to be... I want to see Windsor and her go at it, too. It's going to be solid. I'm happy Bozilla's in it.
Interesting pieces here, and I think you can splinter off a Windsor-Mercedes singles out of this.
After what we've seen on Dynamite tonight, I wouldn't be surprised if that's where we're going.
Yeah. I'm with you, but so far, yeah, Mercedes defending all the way. She ain't losing that belt tonight, I don't think, until she loses the other ones, and she's probably going to walk in with 10, so... she can do 5 on each arm, so...
Dude, and just knock down Aubrey Edwards every time.
Yeah. At some point, she's got to do the... she's got to recreate the Keiji Muto magazine cover.
Yeah.
I think that would be sick. AEW World Tag Team title, now a 3-way match. Once again, Hurt Syndicate defending in a 3-way. That's 2 pay-per-views in a row. Defeating the teams that didn't win the tournament. FTR and Brodito. On paper, though, really cool match as far as just all the different pieces.
I just want to see Lashley toss Bandito around.
And Lashley Brody King stuff will probably be sick, too.
Yeah, and FTR winning these belts.
Yeah, FTR win, and they got to be pinning Brodito.
Yeah, because you're saving Hurt Syndicate still to be big. You know, I get it, but
yeah,
you know, and because there's no way, there's no rhyme or reason for them to put the belts on Brodito. So, especially if you're doing, you're leaning towards FTR, Edge, and Christian, so it makes more sense just to put the belts on FTR.
When you really think about it, though, you know, MVP's alluded to Lashley getting himself in the world title picture. Bandito's going to get a huge push once his Ring of Honor stint is done, and Brody King needs more anyways, so FTR come out of this as the out-and-out tag team. What that means for Shelton Benjamin, I don't know, but he can clearly still go.
I have an idea.
What's that?
If you look at the next match, you can, if you're running singles...
Ooh.
Push Shelton into that title picture, maybe? Him and Okada?
Yeah. They had a cool match in December, the Continental Classic.
Yeah, so I mean, like, there's ways you can go, because like you can put them in. If you're breaking them off into singles, you can still do the Hurt Syndicate thing, break them off into singles. Bobby Lashley can go for the world title. Shelton can go towards unified, whatever title it is now.
I mean, I'd take Shelton Fletcher too.
Yeah, you can go TNT. You can go all. There's 2. Yeah. I mean, either way, you look at it.
Still want a Shelton Roddy match. I don't know how we get to that, but
feel like you're gonna they're gonna circle back, and you're gonna get the MJF. They're gonna cross paths again.
Yeah. So maybe that's the play. I think maybe if you could play with Lashley and Shelton as singles, you could just do more. So
I mean, they're gonna be put on. They're over, so they're gonna get put on TV crazy. You know, like I want them on my TV more. But yeah, I feel like FTR's. This match is gonna be awesome. Like I have no doubt in my mind that this match is gonna be awesome. So
yeah. Let's talk about that unified title match, though, because I think this is the hardest one to read, personally. It's Kazuchika Okada defending against Swerve Strickland. It's easy just to suggest that Okada would win this, but I feel like him beating Kenny to unify the belts was the end point for him. And I say that because what more does he have left to do with this?
So, like, in a sense, you're saying, like, the chase was better than the capture? In a sense, like, he wasn't chasing it. Like, you know, he was chasing beating, or he was, I guess, chasing trying to be better than a Kenny.
More so to just establish this belt. And also, he's held that damn Continental one. I think he was in the company, like, for a week or two.
Yeah,
and then he's been champion since.
Yeah.
He wins the Continental Classic. He's not going to win it again. There's no point. And who does that help?
But I thought we made the unified title, so we didn't have to have two other titles to carry around.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think Don Callis is just doing that for cheap heat, but
yeah, I hope, because you know what I'm saying. There's no point to unify it at that point if you're still going to carry around.
I mean, they did it with the Triple Crown way back when.
Oh, okay, I guess, yeah.
Which, I mean, I like that visual, but if you think a big picture with Okada carrying this belt till the end of the year, the only outcome I could see is to put over Takeshita.
Planting seeds for that.
And he just won the G1. I don't know, and I'm assuming he's going to at least like hold the IWGP until Wrestle Kingdom. Because it's not guaranteed that whoever wins the G1 gets the Dome match. They've been doing it earlier. They've been doing like
Sabre started there, or was that before Sabre too?
They might have done it the year before.
Because I remember Sabre said he wanted to go into the Tokyo Dome as the champion, not win it there.
Yeah, and I think because Takeshi's an outsider, I could easily see him walking into the Dome with the IWGP and losing. Plus, you have the Tanahashi's last match, so like they have to structure their card a different way. But I don't know. I feel like the whole point of Okada winning was to simply establish the belt, and they're going to find something else for him to do. And Swerve hasn't had anything to do since All In. So if they want him to be heavily featured, have a belt of his own, have a title, it's more of a 1A, 1B thing instead of a mid-card belt. Swerve feels like a safe bet to put it on. So I really don't know where they're going with this. I have a hard time making a prediction here.
I'm going Okada.
I think because of that, I just got to go with my gut and go Okada. I went against him last time, and look how that went. But
and I picked him last time, but I'm going Okada on this one.
And they're still teasing that damn Takeshita match, so it's probably what's going to happen. So I'm with you. I'm going to lock in Okada, but this is the hardest match for me to read personally on this whole card. So, I think that makes it a little bit more intriguing compared to what the build has been like on television, though. I will say that. So, I'm very curious to see how the match plays out, and I do think with a pay-per-view allotted time, Okada will be in a much more comfortable space compared to a TV main event. So, we'll see how it goes. AEW Women's World Title match. I think this can steal the show. I really do. Timeless Toni Storm defending against the Ring of Honor World Champion Athena, cashing in her Casino Gauntlet contract. Athena has not had this big of a match in a long time.
This is where I said that I feel like if there was any title to change hands, this is my pick.
It would be interesting. I don't know if they're going to have her hold both belts. If she had a more credible challenger the next week, maybe. I just think Tony's too hot right now. Especially after beating Mercedes, who was undefeated. And putting Athena in these spots, it almost protects her. Like, tournament loss to Mercedes is going to hurt her. A AEW Women's World Title match loss while she's a Ring of Honor World Title match. She still has things to do. I think the match is going to kick ass, though.
Yeah, for sure. Like, they proved it, like, with the promo battles they've been doing, like the tag matches. Like, the tag match tonight was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I'm stoked for. I don't know, man. I want to go with my gut. I just want to say Athena. I'm going Athena.
I hope you're right. I really do, because I think Athena has proven in her time on TV every week that she belongs there and she could be a huge part of the women's division. But I don't see her winning just yet. Like, so I'm going to go with Tony, but I think this could be tremendous.
Now that I'm thinking about it, you're right, because she did just say that she's going to be on AEW full time now, and this is like her first like high profile match.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, I'm happy whoever wins, because this match is going to fucking be awesome. So
I cannot remember the last time she had an AEW pay-per-view singles match, and I almost wonder if it's Jade all in or all out 2022. Like, it's been that long.
Yeah, and how crazy it's changed, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, she was badass then, but now look, she's even better now.
Yeah, it's so strange how, like, the Ring of Honor stuff did her so well, but, like, no one's seeing it. And I think because of that, though, she's got a lot of, like, just her kind of reminding people how damn good she is in these types of matches. So I'm really looking forward to this one, man. I think that if they are given time, this could be really good.
Is the O2 an outdoor arena?
No. This is like their big arena in London.
This is where Oasis played at?
No, Oasis played Wembley. They did like 5 nights at Wembley.
Oh, okay. I've heard the O2 before. It sounds familiar.
Yeah.
The crowd's going to be nuts. That's what I'm waiting for. The crowd's going to be sick.
Do you remember Money in the Bank 2 years ago in London?
Yeah, that's where this was at?
This is the same building, yeah.
Ooh, that's a nice venue. Okay.
Yeah.
That crowd's going to be sick.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Our New Japan representation, again, this being the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship match with 2 white boys. But what a match it's going to be. Zack Sabre Jr. defending against Nigel McGuinness in London. I think that the floor on this is very high. I think for post-injury Nigel, you know, the Danielson match I loved last year. That was always going to have so much sentiment wrapped up in it from their feud. But I think of the style he's able to work now, this is kind of a perfect scenario for him. And when you think of just UK mat-based wrestling, these are kind of the names of modern times that you associate with that. And I think that they're going to want to honor that heritage. So I think this match is going to mean a lot to both guys. I don't really know where it'll go with like how much time. Obviously, Zach's going to win. But one of those matches you never know if you ever get to see. And that's what Forbidden Door is all about. So...
And it's going to suck after the match when Daniel Garcia just beats the shit out of Nigel.
Yeah, but they've fucked his booking up so much that he needs to do it.
That's why I said you have to. Do it. Like, I want you to do it. I want him to do it at this point. Like, please, pull the trigger. Stop doing the dancing shit. I mean, I like it. It's funny. But I'm over it. Stop doing it.
Yeah, we need Red Death again. We need Red... Yeah, I was about to say we need Red Death back, so let's get it going. But I'm sure you're with me, Zach defends.
I'm actually, like, this is my, like, feel good match of the night. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah.
You know, we love Nigel, love Zach.
Yeah, emotions are going to be running high. It's weird where, like, the Danielson match was in the sentiment of what they created, but, like, these two are kind of torchbearers of their own scene. And
then hearing Oasis is going to be sick.
Yeah, we're definitely getting fucking in the bushes. Which Oasis are walking out to on this tour. So
Hell
it's
yeah.
kind of my like, I'm gonna be there next week thinking Nigel.
Fuck yeah, dude. Soldier Field, baby.
Yeah.
And then a
Shout
week
out.
later, I'll be there for System of a Down. Let's go.
Hell yeah, boots on the ground. Let's get it. Two more down the lineup here. Hangman Adam Page making his first pay-per-view defense of the world title against MJF. No contract being cashed in. Hangman can lose the title by countout or submission. Again, this is just too much. I don't think they needed this. I think if you're going to add a stipulation, you insert Mark Briscoe into the match.
Triple threat. You already did one with the tag team. Just do it here.
And because this is more of what I would call like not a filler defense, but it's not going to main event. It's to just continue the feud. It's the middle. It's the bridge match, right?
Yeah, it's the first defense after, well, it's technically second defense, right? Because he went against Mox on Dynamite, but first pay-per-view defense of Adam Page's new reign, and this is your typical, first match after that.
Right. So I think because of that, you could have maybe done the triple threat. I don't think it would have hurt anyone. But I think this just kind of shoehorns this into a very particular type of match. I'm not worried about how Hangman deals with it. I think Hangman is on a really good run, with the face turn, and he feels like the guy again. But I'm just more concerned MJF's going to fall into some shit that really isn't for me. But
I'm going to be 1,000% honest. This is probably going to be a piss break match for me.
you're just totally taken out of it, huh?
The stuff tonight took me out of it, man. To be 1,000%.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't blame you. I really don't blame you.
I was just like, this is dumb. So, I know it's going to, they have potential to be a good match, but it's like you said, MJ's going to fall into that shit that I'm not going to care for. And then it's just going to be a typical, I've seen this before. I'm cool. I don't need to see it again situation.
I'm going to clarify, too. I'm not an outright MJF hater. I think he's done some really good stuff this year. And quite honestly, at the end of last year, too. Like the Garcia match and the Roddy match and what have you. But I want to like him more than I do. I'll put it like that. And it's because of shit like this. And it's always telegraphed, too, where it's just one idea. Just one really bad idea can torpedo the whole thing. I don't know if that happens. I thought their match in March was cool. And I said they needed to have something with a little bit more heat and motivation behind it because it's an established feud. Now it's a world title match. This is not what I had in mind, but who knows? Maybe they'll make it work.
Side note, did we talk about MJF and Mystico finally announcing their match? Oh, I can't remember if we
did. Did they confirm it for the Anniversario?
They did.
Okay, cool.
Mask versus belt.
Yeah.
Or mask versus title, I mean.
I figured that's what it would be, and that'll be cool. Yeah, I knew he defended against Zondo Khan Jr.
Yeah, so then right after that, that match, Mystico came out, challenged him. They shook hands. Yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, I gotta do a whole bunch of catch-up there, but I think that'll be cool. I'm excited for that. That was the sanctioned main event, but the real match that will go on last due to the lights out stipulation.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor.
Yep. John Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, Gabe Kidd, and the Young Bucks taking on the team of Darby Allin, Kenny Omega, and Kota Ibushi, who were not on this show.
Couldn't wait for you to be in this match instead of Gabe Kidd.
Yeah, Yuta's not in the match. Or maybe he'll play into the finish.
But even then, if I was Yuta, I'd feel like, hey, man, I'm part of the team. Got to get a haircut to be part of the Cool Kids Club.
Well, maybe that'll be the Danielson spot, though. Maybe he'll kill Yuta and he just won't be involved in the actual match.
I mean, if that's how we get I'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, this match is just gonna it's just gonna be fuckfest.
And then Tanahashi and Ospreay rounding out the baby faces as well. You don't know what to expect, but I think you can just expect everything.
Tanahashi jumping off that cage. I don't care. I want to see that.
You know, Darby's going to do something really stupid. That's a guarantee. If Tanahashi isn't the man to jump off of something incredibly high, then why don't Tana run the blade?
Let Ibushi do like a Phoenix Splash off the top of the cage or something.
Or I don't know anything about the UK Sports Commission, but hey, give Ibushi some fireworks or something like he did.
Oh hell yeah, like he did it with that DDT.
Yeah, I think he did something crazy like that in the UK as well.
Yeah, I remember he was like riding a bike with like some Roman candles.
Yeah, just go as crazy and stupid as you possibly can. That's the whole point of the match. Who wins? I honestly don't know.
I'm gonna go with the good guys. They're gonna send the crowd. I think they're gonna send the crowd home happy.
I feel like one of two things needs to happen. I feel like Darby needs to get another one over Moxley to set up their singles match. Especially because I do think the good guys, you know, that makes sense. Give Will Ospreay kind of a victory lap before he has to go take care of himself. But I could also see Tana getting the decision. Last match in the UK.
I'm saying, like, you got Will Ospreay who's gonna be out with neck surgery. Tanahashi's last match in the UK. I'm assuming you're gonna send the crowd home happy. How you do it? Like you said, I mean, Darby Allin getting one over on Mox to set their stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you could go about anyway, honestly.
Yeah. And also, side note, that does play into this match. But I've been reading the Way of the Blade AEW edition on Kindle, and something Moxley talked about, because they talked about the Lights Out match and the barbed wire exploding ring match. Moxley pretty much said he's game for all this stuff, but everybody kind of assumes that he's the one that comes up with all the wacky shit, but it's actually, these are all like Kenny's ideas, which is hilarious to me. So, Kenny's in there. He'll probably come up with something crazy. And
what's crazy is, like, Kenny hasn't been on... He's on TV once, right? Ish.
I don't think he's been on at all.
Okay, yeah. And he
since losing.
Yeah, no, he hasn't. You're right. He has not.
That's why this match felt so crazy and strange when it was announced.
Ospreay was like, yeah, man, I called my old boss. You didn't work... Tanahashi wasn't your boss. Anyway...
yeah, this is just... At this point, this is so just bizarre. I'm just, you know...
I'm in.
Spike Spiegel style. Whatever happens, happens.
And it's, like I said, it's a daytime pay-per-view. So this match is going to be on at like 4 in the afternoon, probably.
Yeah. Man, this is going to be on a Twilight Zone, but I think, you know, like, there's... Unless something goes terribly wrong, I'm sure this will just be a lot of fun. So
I'm all in on these big Smosh party matches, especially this stuff. When you got Mox and Kenny in there, and then Ibushi's in there, yeah. And I'm interested to see if Tanahashi can handle it. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, how far he's willing to go. It'll be interesting to see. But overall, I think on paper this looks like a good AEW show. Maybe not a good Forbidden Door show, but that's, again, has to do with all of the booking commitments and people saying that maybe just Tony doesn't like the New Japan wrestlers. I'm not buying that. I truly believe that he wanted this weekend for the bank holiday, and clearly, if you've seen the numbers they're running for this show, it's paying off, because they're already at like 17,000 for this, which they're doing really, really well. And again, I don't use that to leverage other things. I'm just observing, saying, hey, this show's already a success before it's even gotten the ring. But because locking down that long weekend to make travel a lot easier for people going, you don't get access to all the different rosters around the world. So that's why the Forbidden Door aspect of it isn't as heavy-handed as maybe we would have wanted. But like I said, as an AEW show, it looks pretty decent on paper.
It's a Sunday afternoon gig.
Yeah.
Tuning in.
Yep, so tune in next week. We will give you our in-depth thoughts on Forbidden Door as well as the following TV. But before we wrap up, it has been a long time since we got to some hog dipping, and we're not going to go into too crazy detail here, but to kind of ease our way back in, I think we should have just some general discussion about Deadlock Pro Wrestling. Something we've talked about doing again for a long time.
We went on a tiny excursion with this, my friend.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what. Granted, I have not been watching every single promotion that I would have liked to as everything's happening. I've been just kind of keeping a very extensive backlog that I get to when I can. But as far as from what I can tell, DPW might be the most consistent promotion on planet Earth.
For pound.
There's very few holes, in my opinion. And I think when you look at last year, maybe they didn't have as much as a fleshed out women's division, for example. I think that's something they've fixed. And if you're just looking at card structure, this, God, what's the guy's name? Morgan Dash. The Bojack Morgan Dash stuff, the open shows. It's so awesome.
The Odd Couple. Man, let me tell you.
Give them a tag run, man. They don't gotta win nothing, but
let me tell you something. The three-way match to start off Limit Break, where Bojack
with the Spike Dudley spot.
Man, bro, I was like that. I was like, who is this Morgan Dash? And then Manny Lowe too, because like Manny Lowe started becoming like
he's starting to get a little bit of a push now.
Yeah, a predominant figure now. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more like the Bojack Morgan Dash stuff, and then the following event they teamed up, and it was awesome. It was great. Like,
yeah, and then you'll see on the Showdown and Carry, they open in a 4-way, but they still play on that dynamic a little bit without spoiling it.
So I started Showdown and Carry. I stopped at I was on the 6-man where Eric Stevens came back. So I watched like the first like 3 matches, and then I stopped at the 6-man.
Yeah, I got my wires crossed because they did that double shot. That was the only show to have aired yet. So Beast Coast did not air yet.
No, Showdown did though.
But for Showdown kind of not having maybe some, something like Miracle Generation making their first defense against MXM, that kind of blew away my expectations. Again, we could talk about it more when you get to it, but point being, even stuff that maybe I didn't expect to be much has like rose to the occasion. Like I've been just having a blast with these shows. I think a good way to just kind of cover everything generally is we could just kind of go through who's holding what belts, and that'll kind of open everything else up if you're cool with that. You want to start with the tag scene because we did mention Grizzled Young Veterans not being an AEW, but Miracle Generation hold those belts now.
A solid 4-way, by the way.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of tournaments ending in a 4-way match, but Tag Festival was fun. I didn't love Miracle Generation and GYV's match the month before, just because I feel like during GYV's reign, when they were the ones kind of dictating matches, they just went a little bit too overboard with like near falls, for example, especially with the whole like pile driver on the outside thing not really mattering. But I've had a soft spot for Miracle Generation for a long time, so I'm glad seeing them get to this point.
I saw them live in Chicago. That was the first time I seen them when I went to that DPW show in Chicago. They were pretty dope live.
Yeah, they impressed me in that match. I think they opened the show.
Yeah, it was. No, the Titus Alexander opened the show.
That's right.
They were the second match, I guess the guys with TNA.
Yeah. Sinner and Saint.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they impressed me a lot. I didn't care for their match on the show before, but that 4-way was... the Fatal 4-way was awesome. Shout out Jake Something and Beast Mortos.
Inspired booking too. What a sick team.
I'm saying they do it for us, honestly.
Yeah.
Because, Also, I said it once, said it again. One of my new favorite wrestlers is BK Westbrook.
Yeah, and again, he's been like a consistent presence on the undercard, but it's just rounding everything off to where these shows feel complete front to back. Like there hasn't been a ton of filler. In the tag scene, though, GYV bow out. That was probably I don't know if that's the end of the run entirely, but if they're back they should be on AEW if they're signed. There's no reason why they're not being booked.
Yeah, I feel like they're gonna. You'll see him probably more now.
I want to know where JD Drake's at with his health, because I think, I mean, I know Anthony Henry was babyface on this last show, but Workhorseman Miracle Generation, I think you can have something there. Veteran team to really push them around and test them for big defense.
Drake will beat the shit out of them.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
Yeah, I hope he's good. Like, that's my thing. Like, I want JD Drake to be good because I know he's injury prone. Same with Anthony Henry. I just want them both to be good. No, I don't want anyone to be ever injured.
Yeah, I mean, he had a pretty long main event. I mean, DPW doesn't do terribly long matches ever, but main event sized match with Priest that you have yet to see. But Anthony Henry looks like he came back in great shape and is good to go. So just need JD Drake to come back. I've missed the Workhorsemen, man. Like that does feel like a whole, just in general, and whether it's I know that they've kind of done this, like they've been in Adam Priest's corner in Ring of Honor, but I want to see them come back full time as a tag team.
Yeah, same. Also, I wasn't impressed with the Durham street fight with Conley and Tremont as much as I thought I would have been.
I loved it.
Yeah, I was
personally.
Good. But I liked the match with him and Thomas Shire also.
The relaxed rules, that was awesome. We could talk about Mad Dog. I think he fits right in, and as far as DPW kind of being smartened up to who's standing out on the rest of the independents and bringing them in, Mad Dog has been great.
Solid Mad. He reminds me of Bruiser Brody, and Bruiser Brody's like one of my favorite big guys. You know,
they're running back. This has nothing to do with DPW, but for Dean 3, they're running back Mad Dog, Demus, hair versus hair in the ECW arena. Again, their first match is just it's like a 9-minute
I'll tune into that
chaos. Yeah, their first match is fucked up, and it's just like 9 minutes of just madness. Just from the first Dean tribute show. Highly recommend. That was like my, 6. It was in my top 10 for last year for sure. But Mad Dog and DPW really worked. I had to see the second Tremont match that they did in JCW. But
I watched that one. That one was good. I like that one. This one, I don't know. It wasn't bad or by any means. It was just it wasn't hitting for me for some reason.
Yeah, what I liked about it was I feel like they did some stuff just different enough to where, but it still
wasn't
hit.
The same old stuff, and
the way that they approach certain spots, like how they they both kind of exploded through the barricade on the table spot, and then I want to say it was Mad Dog. He was doing sliding lariats, but to the back of the head, which I thought that looked really cool. I'm just going off the cusp here. I don't have any notes per se, but I loved the Tremont Mad Dog match. I thought that was a really cool feud. Did you see the tag match from the joint show?
No, you're not.
That was the United, or it was Prestige West Coast.
Was it the Crush Boys versus Cowboy Way? Or
no, it was Jake something and Matt Tremont versus Adam Priest and Mad Dog.
Okay, I need to go back and watch that one.
That match was awesome, and they kind of did the Kendo Kashin balcony spot where it looked like they're going to throw each other off the balcony. So there's some really cool stuff there.
Yeah, I must have skipped this one. We have some good matches on this one. I need to go back. Yeah,
there's a Trevor Lee Cedric match, which was really good.
Yeah, I've seen that one. I see Blackwood versus Shane Haste. Yeah, I'll go back.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff on there. I want to talk about Cedric Alexander though, because I think he fits in so well in DPW.
I'm Alexander, baby.
And so many people were against him signing with AEW just because he was ex-WWE. And my reservations were, or I didn't really have any reservations. I was saying just wait and see what he has left, because he hasn't been wrestling very much at all.
Now he's killing it down there.
Yeah. I thought both the Andrew Everett and the Kozone matches were great.
Yeah. And him, yeah. Which was the last one? Hold on. Which one was the last one I seen?
I think the Kozone defense.
Yeah, at the Tag Festival. Yeah, it was the last one, and that match was awesome.
That was really good. Yeah,
man, I'm a ball game. I'm sold on Kozone.
Yeah, Kozone's been. I mean, he's continued his strong end to last year.
And the show I'm watching now, he's teaming with the dog. So if you're teaming with the dog, of course you got my support.
We're gonna talk about that after you see that because they do a little bit of they did like a taped angle after the fact that seems really interesting with that kind of triangle between Kozone, Tankman, and Manilo, which I think we were talking about Manilo getting more to do. That's it. So I'm gonna wait till you see all that unfold.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish that tomorrow for sure.
Yeah, Tankman is back, and I thought the Priest match was fantastic.
I love that. I love Adam Priest.
Yeah, I guess that we could kind of transition there to the world title scene. I think what you have to do at Tankman now is find things for him to do outside of that. Because his run, I adored his world title run last year. So now you want to just see what they could do, what kind of matchups they can give him. I think Tankman Mad Dog should happen at some point.
I feel like you could probably get that now, but like we said, I think that we're leaning more towards where is he hanging in the mid card with the national title picture.
Mm-hmm.
So
him and Kozone could be really good too.
That's why I said that could work. Did they finished that Trevor Lee feud, right? Because they had something going on there, or no?
He wasn't on the last show. Were they booked for? They might have been booked for Beast Coast. Let me see.
Trevor Lee was on Beast Coast. I think it's like the first match when I've seen it. Wasn't trying to get any spoilers, but yeah, he fought Ryan Clancy. But Calvin Tankman, not on the card though. Oh yeah, he is.
No, but there is a really sick match actually at Beast Coast.
Yeah, you talking about that 6-man?
Yes. Yeah. So the Workhorsemen are back.
Yeah.
And Grizzly Young Veterans are on the show for the blow-off. Okay, we'll have a lot more to talk about once Beast Coast airs, because this card looks sick. They got a replacement for Colby, though. Colby, unfortunately, got really fucked up. I think he said he required neck and back surgery.
Yeah, he had to have like emergency neck and back surgery. Took him out.
It's so terrible because I really enjoyed what he's been doing, and it felt like we got him back all the way.
Yo, not to get too far ahead of ourselves here, but there is a Jersey Street fight on this card that has my name written all over it. I don't know if you saw that match when you were looking at it, but it's right.
Who's Colby's replacement
in that street fight?
Yeah,
Dominic.
Oh, that's right. Yes, I remember seeing that. Okay. Dude, when is this show going to air? This card looks fucking awesome.
I'm saying because I want to see. Yeah.
Really cool that they're flying in Yu. She's one half of Team 200 Kilogram with Chihiro Hashimoto over in Sendai Girls, and it's actually she's retiring soon.
No, the team name.
Oh yeah, Team 200 Kilogram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel it.
They're awesome. Really, really good. But I wonder if that means we'll get Big Hosh at some point in DPW. That's kind of a best case scenario for me personally. But I think there's just like what's awesome is we're talking about, okay, Tankman's not on the world title scene anymore. But then immediately there's like a lot for him to do, and we're already like, okay, maybe he'll run into Mad Dog at some point. Now he's got that, or he could easily challenge Kozone some point down the line, or this Manny Low thing, the way it develops once you see it. That's impressive that they have a relatively small roster and we're already putting all these pieces together.
That's it's just like their quote unquote undercard, their midcard, all of it. It's just like there's no tiers to it. It's all like a flowing show, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like they're putting, again, they're booking The matches are all delivering.
When I was watching it, I didn't want to walk away. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, I'm going to pause it or something. Like, most of the time, I'm like, I'll doze off. Like, I'll daze off or something. Like,
you get sidetracked, pull your phone out, whatever.
During that whole tag festival, I was locked in. I said, all right, you know, because when I started, when we were like, oh, we're going to do, you know, I said, all right, bet. Went back. I just ran through Tag Fest. Today I started Showdown and Carry. So I'm like, they don't miss.
No. This card on paper at least looks absolutely insane. There's more Best of the Best tournament on here. So I think it's a good way to segue to the women's division, which I think has been a huge improvement on last year.
Fire.
A lot of that on the back of Danny Luna's work, which I thought she's been great. She's actually teaming with Mercedes on that Rev Pro show on the second night.
She's on TNA, yeah?
Is she signed?
I thought she was on TNA I thought she was on a tag team on TNA, but I could be wrong.
If she is, that wouldn't surprise me because I was thinking to myself, how is nobody approaching her yet?
Yeah, I want to say she was in a tag team, but
is it her and Jody Threat?
That's who I thought, yeah.
Okay, that would make sense. But she had a really good world title reign. I like the Hyon feud. I think more than a lot of people, actually. I thought Hyon was really good in that.
Hyon was, like, being there live was awesome for that. But she was like she's a good heel. You know what I'm saying? It was a good segue into Nicole Matthews.
Yeah, before we get to Nicole, looking at the landscape, if Hyon's able to figure out you, because that is a pretty large disparity in size, so I want to see how she does, how she can weasel her way out of that. It kind of says the blow off there would be the tournament final, right?
Yeah.
You can have your big blow off for that between those two, and that's been going on going back to last year. So again, inspired booking, man.
That's what I said. I feel like that was circle back because DPW is for they do things in fans' eyes because they're just like us. Like,
yeah, I want to talk about Nicole. I think she's somebody who, like, a lot of writers I look up to are very high on, and I didn't really see much of her until she was getting booked more consistently in Deadlock. She's someone who's working like Dusk Pro and stuff like that. Been at it for a long time. Wonderful technician. We will talk about the Trish Adora match once you see it, but I think what she's bringing is something completely different from past women's champions. Because, Danny Luna's a bit of a powerhouse, where Matthews is doing all of the mat stuff at an incredibly high level. And depending on who you pair her with, you can get different types of matches out of that, and it just blows open the doors as far as variety goes. And I'm glad she's getting this run because, again, it gives someone, like, I've heard of her for so long, I just wasn't going out of my way for her work, and now, the thing is, you can always regret being late to something, but in pro wrestling, it's like, everybody's late to it, so it's like, now you have a whole catalog, you can go deep dive a new favorite wrestler, for example. So again, they're just firing on all cylinders, man.
I love it. I like, they were my favorite podcast before we got, what I'm saying? Like, that's what got me in and wanted to do this. And then they put out their whole wrestling company, and it's like for the fans, and I love every second of it.
Now I just got to hit that retirement parlay. We can start booking Underhook Pro.
I'm saying we'll get there. We only got, we'll get there. And then I talked to you before we started recording. One of my favorite matches so far, the Battle of the Best, has been that Queen Aminata Jada Stone match. That match was awesome. Like, Queen Aminata is on another level.
Take notes, AEW. That's how you should be presenting her.
Yes, because it was a quick match. It was a short match, but I don't know if Jada Stone, I don't know if it was her first match, and that was her first DPW match or what, but
yeah, because they're bringing in her and Maya World, who I both saw for the first time last year on a Spark Joshi show over Mania weekend.
According to this, Jada Stone also works for TNA, so there you go.
Yeah, well, I hope that TNA keeps allowing their talent to work DPW with the whole WWE acquisition hanging over their head. I mean, for example, we're getting Nicole and Masha whenever the show airs, and that sounds fantastic. Arguably two of the best women's wrestlers on the independents, or just two of the best wrestlers on the independents in general. So, I'm very high on DPW. I'm so glad I took the time to catch up. The one thing I'll be cynical about is that, okay, take for example, whenever something like the Lesnar thing happens, and it sucks that you could take however many examples of just something really gross happening, and everybody brings up the watch different promotions thing. DPW's name gets thrown around a lot, but it's still just not talked about nearly enough. So I think we should do our due diligence and start talking about the shows more, staying on top of it, because it really is worth going out of your way. They have like 1 to 2 shows a month. It's not hard to keep up with. At most, they're like 2.5 hours, maybe 2:45.
It's an easy watch. There's like nothing on it that's, dragging out or anything of that nature.
They fly by, man.
Yeah, and in all honesty, like, top indie promotion, like,
by far.
Like, they're putting out banger after banger. They're showing you talent you probably never seen before, or talent like you maybe heard of. They're finally, showcasing them. Queen Amanat is getting showcased here.
I mean, Masha's going to get more to do here than at TNA.
And Masha's there, you know what I'm saying? It's all, like, highly recommend. Check it, at least check it out. They got some stuff for free on YouTube you can even check out.
Yeah, and, in my circles, it's between CMLL and DPW for, like, promotion of the year, for example. And the thing is, like, if you're coming from, just say, you only watch WWE and AEW, something like Deadlock's going to be a little bit easier to pick up due to the fact that the frequency that they run, which is, again, it's only once or twice a month, maybe 3 times, like when they do the double shots. But the way that the shows are produced, it's a little bit easier to follow than dropping yourself into a different culture where maybe there isn't that kind of serialized nature to it. So I mean, going out of your way for this, if you're just looking for something fresh in your wrestling diet.
They make it relatively easy for new fans to tune in, because, like, you don't necessarily need to see the show beforehand to tune into the next show, because they pretty much streamline everything for you, more or less, in a sense.
I mean, they haven't done a live show in over a year, but as for now, everything's taped. But because it's taped, you are getting top-notch production. You're getting the taped promos after matches to kind of get you up to speed, string everything along, and they take their time with editing to just give you the best possible product. We are not associated with them in any way. We just really love what they're doing right now. So we just encourage you. I think you're doing yourself a disservice by not giving it a chance. So going forward, I think starting with Beast Coast, we will be reviewing the shows and just talking about the promotion more. I mean, that was always the intention, but it's just like life happens and whatever. But I'm way more motivated to be on the ball.
I'm glad we waited and let a bunch of shows build up, because now I'm like,
yeah, I still got to go back and watch the January one, so I still got a little bit more Deadlock to watch. The one with Mander's Priest.
Okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure I missed like a couple, but I remember where I left. Like, I remember leaving off after the 2 Japan shows. So, but yeah, this is awesome. I want them to come back to Chicago, not in a winter era. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hopefully at a time and place to where we can all be together and enjoy it. But I would just say going forward, think now that we're caught up and excited, we're way more motivated to cover this stuff. So
you'll probably hear us talk about it more.
Yes. So as soon as Beast Coast drops, we will. I think that's a good point. Start getting in the weeds with show by show basis, going through the whole card, etc. But we're approaching 2 hours. I think we got everything in. I don't know about you.
Yeah, well, I'm good. I'm stoked for Beast Coast, man. I keep looking at this card, like
this. I just totally forgot how insane that card looks. So I'm very excited to watch it once it airs. But hey, they're taking their time with it. I know they're going to give us the best possible product. So yeah, credit to everything Deadlock's accomplished in such a short amount of time. But other than that, I think we're good. Chris, do you got anything to plug?
Yeah, this Saturday, if y'all are in Indiana, Northwest Indiana, my Beano crew gonna be at this new place called Backspin Lounge in Crown Point. We're gonna do a church.
Shit.
Yeah, we're gonna go check it out. We're gonna do a little setup shop there. So if you're in the hood area, I think it's like at 6 p.m. somewhere around there. Come check us out.
Word, yeah. Shout out 219. Nothing of my own to plug, but within my household, my brother Mill got the 330 Club podcast back off the ground in time for football season. They're kind of our sister show here. I mean, it's in the same household. He records Tuesdays, I record Wednesdays. We don't really have a network or anything, maybe in the future, but if any of our listeners have interest in the NFL, him and our good friend Jimbo are breaking everything down. They did a divisional preview, and as they're going to get going, they're going to start incorporating betting tips and week-by-week previews and reviews. So shout out 330. I do all the graphics for it. A lot of time goes into it, and I think there's a lot of cool stuff around the corner from them. If you enjoy that sort of thing and just team sports in general and betting and lifestyle stuff, I think you'll get a lot out of it. So shout out to Mill and our good friend Jimmy.
I'm going to give this a listen because I've been slowly getting into betting.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give my brother, give my boy Mill a listen.
Yeah. So for the Underhook show, this has been Steve and Chris. Keep it locked next time. We'll have all sorts of Forbidden Door talk and anything else going on. But that's all for now. So thanks again for listening if you got this far, and we'll talk to you again next time.
See ya.